Hey. Smooth like butter.
You like that? You like that? All right.
You can tell that was never practiced.
How
I
dare
thought it was damn near flawless.
because I did it. You know that there is something real cool here that we could do that's real cool.
What's up?
You introduce Scott to the groupie group. Let's go. Sorry.
Guess who's back again?
Yeah.
Scotty's
back. Hey, tell a friend. Like and subscribe.
Oh, hey guys, these are my besties. Well, you know who Adam is. He's in the infamous video. Sorry about that, Adam. I pulled him into that one.
Hey, I'm not getting back.
Just me. It's cool. And this is the Sober Heathen, aka Scotty.
Hi.
And what our jam is talking about. It didn't even work. Sobriety, recovery from any and all addictions, and recovery from life, essentially.
Word. It's all the same, right?
Word to your mother, yes. And so I'm trying to change the layout.
I was gonna say, yeah, it's throwing me off because I'm in the top left now. I'm never at the top left.
Do you want me to change it for you?
No, it's
you
fine.
Can change it.
I'm adaptable.
I've always wanted to do the thing where I'm like looking up at you.
What you doing, buddy?
Oh my god, can we do that? I forgot to plug my thing in.
That's the intro we should have. We should have that like and then
Well, do it again.
Thank you, Anna. So can you hear me now? Because like this was on the ground a minute ago. I always do that.
Still can hear you.
I haven't been able to not hear you.
So guess what we're going to talk about? Scott? What are we talking about, Scott?
Oh, I don't remember. I think maybe something to do with authenticity, right? We're going to continue on that.
I think that was a good one.
Oh, yeah. We're definitely not talking about that.
About what?
Yeah, we'll come back to it.
What are we coming back to?
I don't know.
I put the word in there for you, but you're not picking up when I'm laying down. When I said we'll come back to it.
Yeah, it usually happens when you're laying down.
You can't really tell that I'm looking over. Okay. Well, that sounds good. Earlier I talked about resentments, but then it turned into like a yelling thing. So we're not going to do that again. So authenticity it is. Why is authenticity? Okay. First of all, a lot of people here aren't in recovery. Some are that are in that community, but hi, I talked to you earlier. So like, let's explain like the whole deal about authenticity and being congruent with our values, actions, thoughts. Don't look at me like that. You're impressed? Are you impressed?
Big word, yeah.
Thank you. It's my big microphone. Okay, go ahead. You love when I do that.
Oh, shit. Yeah, so authenticity, whether you're in recovery or not, is very important, right? Because otherwise you're living a lie.
True.
If you're just going around trying to please everybody. And I did that all through high school. I did that, up until I found alcohol. And ironically, that set me free from trying to pretend to be something I'm not. And then I fell in love with it. And that's where the problem started. I wanted, and I've said it before, but alcohol gave me this authentic self that everybody liked. I could get the girls. I could talk to people. I was doing speeches at work hungover, and they were going really well, and all these things. And all of a sudden, I felt like all those things that I wanted growing up that I couldn't do, couldn't talk to people. I wasn't outgoing enough. Alcohol gave me that. And then it got to a point where alcohol was like, yeah, I got your back, buddy. And then I'm like, yeah, but give me more, fucker. And so I would drink more, and alcohol couldn't give me more. It was always me asking too much from the bottle. And the bottle was like, dude, please leave me alone. I can't do any more for you. And I'm like, yes, you can, glug, 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 and vicious cycle. But anyway,
That's beautiful.
yeah, the authenticity part, I feel that's what got my podcast going and what led me to you guys. And that's what, I don't want to use an odd, weird word here, but it's what attracted to me to you guys, like to, do these things with. You guys are authentic and cool people. And yeah, I don't, I still tread lightly on some things that I say, but I'm getting farther and farther into the angry old man where I'm not going to care. But I don't mean anything by it, you know what I mean? But at least you know what you're going to get with me, I think.
At least you know.
You know what you're going to get.
Need to get you a cane and, so you can come out on the porch like, get off my lawn, you fucking kids.
I tell people to get off my yard all the time, dude. I do not like it. Like, even if I'm on camera, you heard me. People need to get out of my street area, actually. Like, just get I don't like it.
I know I've been talking a lot, but Anna said something. Can I respond to it real quick?
Yeah.
And then you guys give me your thoughts. Like,
yeah.
give you a false authenticity. You feel authentic, but you're not. I get what you're saying. And I know when people say, I had a lot of fun and I was outgoing on alcohol, and people say, no, you weren't, that was all fake. I don't believe that. For me, I don't. I believe that it really did do that. That's why I fell in love with it. It really gave me those things, but it wasn't permanent. And on that part, you're right. And it wasn't really, and I guess it wasn't authentic because it wasn't really me. It was helping, but I am that guy now, if that makes sense. So it really did open a door for me. It's just, that's what I was saying. Like I ruined that relationship by abusing alcohol, literally. Like I was in a narcissistic relationship with alcohol. It couldn't do anything else for me. And
yeah, I see that.
Very good way. Jen, I forgot. Jen made a puppet show. Is the best damn puppet show I've ever seen.
Oh yeah, I saw that too.
About a type of government. It was beautiful. So yeah, this is a new friend. Ivor. How do I say it?
Ivor.
Ivor.
Mm-hmm.
Close.
Cool name. Viking-esque.
And then I talked to Tori earlier. Remember? He's right.
Tori, a big dog.
Code words is correct. Okay, so I like when Scott is, what attracted me to him too is, so one day he's like so awkward on Twitter, and he said to me, you're like, hey, what do you say? You like, come on the channel or something, like, because he had a podcast and doing interviews. And didn't I just start doing mine like literally like a week ago or something? I was just dicking around, and I went on and I was like, dude, like, this is my type of person. Like you're straight up, no bullshit, no fake bullshit. And you said your mind. Well, you do. You say your mind, and it's got to get some pushback in the Twitter community. And then like just for not going against, but just for telling your truth. And what I love about that though is because it's a lot of groupthink. That type of people, is that a type of person that doesn't like what he has to say, because what he has to say sometimes doesn't align in a perfect thing of what a certain group has to believe. You cannot say otherwise. Is that a good description? Many will disagree with me that may be in that, and I know it's take what you want and leave the rest, but we're talking about what, like, I guess traditionally how some of the people, the long-termers are.
Yeah. I just did a podcast earlier today with Michael, and he said something, Mike, big dog on X.
Oh, okay.
And it was good. And he'd mentioned something about not everything is black and white. And the problem is that we're in the gray area.
Yeah.
And people don't like that. They want you to either be in that black zone or that white zone and think like they think. But I can think a little bit about the side on the white. I can think a little bit of side on the black side. And then I make my own path. And that's where a lot of people, it ruffles their feathers because I can't believe you said that. That goes against everything we say. Well, that's the point.
Exactly.
Goes against it.
Exactly.
You can't say something's not a disease or that you even are thinking about it. I've gotten away with it a couple times thinking maybe it's not a disease. I guess it's kind of like how when I guess it's kind of how you word it, right? But I'm gonna get so hated on for that. Don't come at me. No, but that's just kind of how it goes, and just like navigating, trying to be like respectful to everybody, and like because we believe in all pathways to recovery, which is however the heck everybody's different, every individual is different. So that whether that means like trauma recovery, addiction to food, sex, love, Adam's face is just too much. Crack, drugs, alcohol, literally anything. I have quite a few addictions. Shopping is a big one. And so all of those things require healing, right? But not everybody's going to do it not the same. Obviously, there's not one cookie cutter way. And a lot of people would have you think this is the way, boom, boom, boom. If you don't do that, you're going to fucking die. You're not going to stay sober. And it really is just as blunt as that. And not everybody's like that, but that's just kind of like, I like genuine people that aren't scared to speak up and say what they think or what they believe, because when shit gets real, it's like the people that are in the group and scared to speak out, they're going to be in trouble. You know what I mean? Anything can totally become an addiction. Totally. Because why? It's not about the drugs or alcohol, right? What about you, Adam? What have you say? You?
For which part? We've gone
Anything.
thrown the spaghetti against the wall, so just see what sticks.
Anything you want.
Well, I was thinking a little bit about what Scott was saying about how, let me read her comment again. Substances give you a false authenticity. You feel authentic, but you're not. And I was trying to play that against my life and the memories of when I really started drinking, and I don't know. I can kind of see both sides of that. And then I kind of played it backwards and said, was there any time where I wasn't being authentic and alcohol made me even less authentic? And I don't think there was. I feel like what alcohol did for me was break down the barriers that kept me from being my authentic self. So, I went from never having drank up until 21, getting thrown into the deep end with a bunch of people who've been partying for 5 or 6 years, and being I don't want to say the cool guy, but being the guy that would being the guy who's like, I don't give a fuck about anything. And, not necessarily sticking it to the man, but being the guy who's like, would stand up to the man and, say what everybody else was thinking, which if I hadn't been drinking, probably wouldn't have done in such an outlandish kind of way. But what it did do was, I think it gave me a self-inflated sense of importance when the times that I wasn't drinking.
Yeah.
Because those same traits kind of carried over into my non-sober or my sober self. I won't say sober, my non-drinking self. But at that time of my life, alcohol wasn't a problem. And I think as it became a problem, I tried to use alcohol to get back to that person that had found his voice and found his, the balls to stand up to somebody and kind of, have his voice heard.
Yep.
And then when alcohol became a problem, I had neither. And like Scott was saying, I just kept trying more and more and more and more and more to find that again. Of course, there's way more to the story besides that, but I was just trying to think about the authentic side, the authenticity, and how it all played out. But I kind of agree with you, Scott. I think that's I think I was asking a lot from the bottle, and the bottle was giving me nothing but pain.
Yeah.
More and more pain.
Yep.
So, but, yeah.
That is a good take though, because I didn't even think about that. What always comes to my mind, and I know this comes to your mind too, is when we've talked about it a lot, is freedom. Right. And I guess that could go hand in hand, right? Freedom and
yeah, right.
authenticity. Because, well, I think my goal was, I didn't understand that my goal was authenticity. I think I just like wanted to be free and not have any barriers and like anxiety and just like I just didn't know what it was, but I didn't feel comfortable in my own skin. And I know a lot of people say that, but I don't know how else to describe it. You know what I mean? And you guys felt similar, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of us do, right?
Yeah.
And, yeah. And so the thing is, like, I wanted to belong.
Right.
And this was high school, right? Everybody knows when I started drinking, I was in high school and I wanted to be cool and be popular or something, or like I was really shy, good grades. I didn't have really many friends. I was in competitive gymnastics and that's all I did. And so I was very like sheltered and boom, 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 right? Everything is scheduled. And I just like wanted to like be free. Like alcohol, do it. Like I'll have friends. Yeah. And then when I did it, I got kicked out of school. First time I got drunk, everybody, you know this. And I didn't care because all that mattered was that I had found the magic elixir that was going to just catapult my life, man. And I was going to have this. It was like this thing, like I got this thing and it's going to be with me the rest of my life. And it's like, I'm so smart. I found this. Right? Like I really like felt like that. I was like, wow, like I'm a fucking genius. Like I'm just gonna drink all the time because it makes me feel good. I mean, I didn't lie, I did. And you know the things that we try to do, like I didn't want to let go of it because I didn't know how to be a person. And that sounds kind of insane, right?
Well, what's funny is hearing you, because my experience is the complete opposite. Because like I went from when I say that when I got to college and alcohol gave me this like it removed barriers and gave me this amplified version of myself, I already was the person that I wanted to be up until I found alcohol.
Oh.
And so like when I started drinking, it kind of it amplified certain characteristics of my personality, and it was fun.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
That's a great face for him to freeze on. There he is.
Hold on. The Wi-Fi is doing its thing again.
It's the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, and I'm only like 5 miles from town. All right, hold on. I'm gonna drop off for a second.
So, Lindsay, he's redoing his thing. You had said something about like I'd figured out. Like I remember when I first started drinking a fifth a night, I'd stop at that same party store and get it every night, and I told myself.
Look who it is! I've been waiting for you to be here when he's been looking for you, Scott.
Who?
Scooby-Doo has been looking for you.
Why?
Comments. You can't see him?
Yeah, I see him.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. He just cracks me up whenever. Oh my God, I'm fucking sorry. That was
so good.
I won't look over it.
Well, hi, Scooby. How you doing?
Oh.
Sorry about that. Just fucked up.
I don't even know what I was talking about now.
No, I just messed up Scott. It's Scooby's fault. He did this shit yesterday. This is always his fault.
Give him some snacks.
He wants chips. Okay, I'm sorry. Say what you're saying. I'm sorry.
You had said that that you had figured it out. I thought I had figured it out when I started drinking a fifth a day, where I'm like, hey, I'm drinking a fifth every night, going to work every day, getting promotions, killing it. Like I'm not going to be like an alcoholic, my mom or my grandfather or whatever. I'm not going to be like them. I have it figured out. So, I mean, that popped into my head too when you said that.
That's so interesting though, because that was my goal to be would you consider yourself a functional alcoholic to a certain extent? Which there is like regulations, but
it was like 2009 or 10. A friend of mine at work said, You're a functioning alcoholic. And I wore that thing like a goddamn badge of honor. I was like, I'd never heard that before. I'm like, you're goddamn right. I'm a functional alcoholic.
Did you ever have the realization that like it dawned on you, was like, you know what, 3 or 4 shots and all of a sudden I'm energized. Mm-hmm. And then when you said that to the wrong person went, yeah, that's a problem. That's like a major warning sign. Did you ever have that happen?
No.
So no, alcohol's a depressant. You get hyped up on alcohol, like you better believe it. They're like, not good.
Yeah, like I take benzos, I am zooted. Like I'm gone. Like hyper as fuck.
Yeah. Same thing that happens, like, and that's just how the chemistry works out in the brain. But like, if you get somebody who's like, they snort a line and it calms them down, like, not good. Not good.
That's not good.
If you're listening and you're not sure if you have a problem, you do a sedative and you feel amped up, or you do a stimulant and you're like chilled out, not good.
That's not good. But wait. But it wasn't good when I was like really cracked out either.
Well, no, it's not good. But I'm just saying that's the physical. That's where the physical problem, like up here, like the actual chemistry, you're going, you got to be careful.
Yeah, man. Seriously. Well, I should have known. Like I got kicked out of school. First time I drank, got drunk, and I was like, this is great. I'm going to keep doing this. But you know what Scott said is that like I literally realized this a couple of weeks ago, that my entire goal was to be a functional alcoholic. And then it was to be a functional addict. But I never achieved either one. And I tried till the day that I quit.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I gotta turn this off.
I think I want to say, I think it's, I don't want to put the term addict or alcoholic on it. I think for the person who has the right brain chemistry, like if you take the person with the right brain chemistry with absolutely no emotional trauma or baggage or anything, and they could actually regulate the amount of alcohol that they ingest daily, I think it would improve your functioning. Just the same as you give somebody who with ADD, you give them Adderall.
Yeah. It
improves the functioning based on the brain chemistry. And that's completely cracked out to think about and say, and you go, what do you mean giving somebody alcohol is going to make them? If you have the proper brain chemistry for it, it will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The problem is all the side effects. So, because I'm with you. I mean, I can't tell you how high I went up in Wells Fargo, like slammed every night and probably still drunk the next morning, you know, at least legally drunk. Yeah. And then by 5 o'clock, slammed again and like, hey, you're doing such a great job. Here's a promotion. Hey, you're doing such a great job. Here's a promotion.
Been there.
Like,
how? I just, damn you. I always wanted to be one of those.
But that's what got me hooked too, dude. Like, I mean, I was working for my father-in-law and it kept moving up. And then his business took shit. I went and found another job making even more money, you know, drinking a fifth plus a night. And I was like, yeah, I got this dick. You know, I was in Dow Corning or Dow Chemical, whatever you want to, if everybody knows who that is, right? There was one point where I was playing a game where I would not drink until the 10 o'clock break. I'd go to the party store, act like I was just getting out of work. Oh, yeah, working that third shift. Yeah, time to go home and have a few. Go back into work. And then I would go find a stall somewhere and I would slam a half pint and then I would hide it somewhere. And I was like, ooh, this is a fun game. And never clicked the light bulb in my head that, hey, this is not good. In fact, one time the bottle was found while I was at work and I helped the investigation to find out who was drinking on the job. Because I was a safety guy.
That's great. Oh my God.
I'll ask around, guys.
Oh my God.
That one was a brilliant move because I drank it in the Porta-John, the one that everybody used. So and then just throw it down in there. It's just floating on top. Didn't even think about trying to cover it up or anything.
Well, that's not what we're good at.
Yeah.
But the looking for the, yeah, you know how many times I've done that with drugs? I'll help you. Or your money. So funny thing, I think I said this to you off camera. Someone online called me an addict, and I was so fucking offended. I mean, not really, I'm being dramatic, but I was like, I don't know if they're trying to be rude or not. I was like, I take that as being rude, but it's just funny because we always talk about this, about how we don't call ourselves addicts. I don't even like to say I'm a recovering addict. Do you? What do you?
No.
I mean, we don't. We there's a we
I
don't.
was an alcoholic.
Yeah.
Okay, because I was drinking every day and abusing alcohol. I don't drink every day and I don't abuse alcohol anymore, so I'm not an alcoholic.
Yeah, even though so the person said like former addict, and I'm like, I feel like that's derogatory.
And some people do. I do too. But
I don't like
and
it.
then some people wear it as a badge of honor, and I totally get where they're coming from. They're like, I'm an addict or alcoholic for life, and that's just how I have to look at it, and that's okay. But the people that have a problem with us not calling ourselves that anymore are the same ones that are telling me to go drink this weekend and see if you can stop, prove that you're no longer an alcoholic.
Tell people why they say that.
Huh?
Tell people what that really means, though. They might not know what you mean.
What do you mean?
Because about
they tell me to go drink?
Yeah, like why they're telling you to go drink, because
Yeah, so yeah, in the big book of AA, it's trying to diagnose if you're a real alcoholic or not. And that's all it is. It's the moderate drinker, the heavy drinker, and then the real alcoholic. And they throw that real alcoholic term around too. And so and it says, in order to diagnose yourself, go to a nearest bar room and try some controlled drinking. And if you can, then you're probably not an alcoholic. If you can't stop, then you probably are an alcoholic. That's all that is. And the people take that out of context. And so somebody that has put in all this work through the big book also, and other things to try to gain sobriety, you're gonna tell them to go out and drink to prove they're not an alcoholic anymore. That's just stupid.
Yeah. Well, it's really like just a way to be condescending and hateful to say that. Well, so hold on, I want to answer this. Scooby's getting wild in the comments about the Sinclair. He loves the Sinclair method. He calls it the magic pill. Is this the one I wanted to? How much do you do before you're an addict, and is the self-denial a bad thing? So there's a lot to unpack there. I hate people that say that. So that was a joke, but there is. So how much do you do before you're an addict? Well, the thing is, right, Scott, like an alcoholic and an addict, one would see there's no real guidelines, right? There's no real definition. There's no they aren't medical terms.
When you're, in my opinion, you're an addict and alcoholic when you say you are.
Yeah.
And you can be one by everybody else's standards, but I'm not going to go into the treatment. The guy that came to treatment with me, where his parents made him come in because he had a half of a fifth of Jack in his freezer, right? So other people can diagnose, and sometimes they might be right. But I think you're an alcoholic when your life becomes unmanageable because of your use, and it's really self-diagnosis.
We all are very, very alike in what we believe too, and we still have different things on this. So to be an addict, the thing that I have jumped to now is like, well, what does it mean if you're an addict? Because if I say, yes, I'm an addict, I mean, it's an arbitrary kind of line, right? Technically, because the definition of addiction is doing something over and over. What is it, Adam? Doing it despite negative consequences, continuing to do something despite negative consequences. So that's why something that is not getting negative consequences, that's going to be like a habit, right? but something,
Right.
despite the negative consequences, that's addiction. So say if you're, I mean, and the thing is though, like if I'm an addict or not, what does that mean?
Well, so I think you have to break it down, because you can be physically addicted to something
Yeah.
and it not be, affecting your life. You can get physically addicted to caffeine, drinking too much coffee. Somebody consider me drinking, like just slamming espressos all day and start having negative health consequences. Dr. Pepper, 5-hour energy drinks.
We're sick.
So, I mean, there's a physical dependence. So the problem with trying to define the term addiction in today's world is that it's been co-opted by so many different organizations. There's no standardized meaning for it. So you've got to address the physical dependency. You've got to address the mental dependency, the emotional dependency. So technically, you could probably say somebody could be physically, emotionally, and mentally dependent on a substance, but as long as it's not negatively affecting their life, they're not an addict. But how could you? I mean, it's crazy.
It doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
Because and the thing is, so the thing is, like with Alcoholics Anonymous, I'm not a representative of them, okay? So I'm just like, what is some disclaimer there? Place disclaimer right there. I don't know what that is, but it's there. If in I shouldn't keep saying it, in 12-step for the alcoholic, the thing is, like, so the first step is to declare if you're an alcoholic. So you have to answer yes to 2 questions, right? And the first is, when you start drinking, can you stop? And if you can control the balloons, if you can control how much you drink, you're probably not an alcoholic. And if you can control when you stop, I think I said it backwards, whatever, it doesn't matter which direction. And so if you can say yes to those, the book says you're probably an alcoholic, but we can only self-diagnose, and only you know if you are. So
yeah, and then only you know if you are. But as soon as you say you are, only we know how to stop you.
Exactly. So if you say you're an alcoholic, what is the next step? Then you have to stop, because you can't drink moderately. That's what that means. But that's only according to that 12 steps. Outside of that, that's not even a thing. But people don't understand that or know that. And people don't really want people to know that.
Good. Gene, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you up, but Gene right there, I am very careful about what I say after I am. That is beautiful.
Oh, see, that's my dog.
That's beautiful.
I've been telling y'all for a year. What I tell you, the most powerful phrase you can say is "I am."
Yeah, I tell you what, and I've been doing that all throughout the day.
Yeah,
the past few days, and that's why I'm back on here today.
Nice.
I'm finding my way out of the rut, because I've changed the way that I'm talking to myself. I'm starting to project things. So
I love
that's
it.
yeah. But I mean, I'm glad she said that, because that's been a huge part of what's been going on. The I ams, the words after I am have not been very good as of late.
Yes.
So
yes.
Wow.
Austin says, do you think it's essential to appear to a higher power, or appear to a higher power in AA that prevented me from interacting with groups in the past?
Hold on, I can't find where I am.
Austin?
Oh, there's more above it. Where is that, at the bottom? Oh, okay, sorry. To appeal to appeal to a higher power? No. Personally, I don't.
I was gonna say in AA.
Yeah.
That you're gonna get both answers on that. Depends on who you're asking AA. Are you asking, is it essential to appeal to a higher power to get sober and recover from addiction? No.
Nope.
Wait on Scott's.
The people in AA will tell you yes. The people that are hardcore in AA, they will say yes, absolutely, you'll never make it. And that's why I had such a hard time. I loved the fellowship of AA, and I even loved the literature. I've shown my big book 100 times on here. You know, I've been in that thing, but it was the higher power thing that really set me back. And I think really held me back in the beginning because they were telling me if I didn't believe, and I know that a lot of them will argue, they don't say it's God, but when you read the big book, it's God. It's like they're saying, we're not telling you it's God, but it's God, the Christian God.
The Christian God.
The Christian God. So, yeah, that really, is it essential? No, I don't think so. But you have to believe in something, and that this is really going to fluff some feathers, but
Do it.
you got to believe in yourself, number one, that you can do it and you deserve to do it. That's, you know, they will freak the fuck out when you say that the power comes from within, and it's like, no, no.
Die.
So,
Not funny at all. Oh,
well, you're laughing, so you're going to hell with me.
Well,
You'll be like, power of Christ compels you.
Ah!
that's the thing though. Like, so they told me like, hey, you don't have to believe in that, blah, blah, blah. But like what they were saying is like, you better find something.
Yep.
That's
Yeah,
right?
and one thing Minnie said there, I find my faith helped me, but that's just me. Yeah, and it can. And that's I really try to word it to where if that is what you need to do, then by all means do it. But it's not for me. I'm only speaking for myself. I'm not telling anybody that don't believe in God or the higher power or what the big book says. You find if you end up believing that and that's what you use, then I am cheering you right along with everybody else. I'm just saying for me, that's what made it hard because I can't believe that way. And it's not from a lack of trying.
Good point. Well, and I just believed they said you got to find something. And so like I was getting all these books out and like reading Neil Donald Walsh, like Conversations with God. And I'm like, oh my God, I get it. Because you guys, I've never been introduced to religion. I went to church with like my ex-boyfriend to like a Catholic church for like a funeral or something. I freaked the fuck out. That was scary. You had to like kneel down. Like, I'm not making fun of it. It's new and I don't know what it was. And I had the thing, I don't know, you know, I was scared, but like, because I didn't know what it was. And so that's like, I think I went to like some like kids group or something like, what is this? Like what is a youth group or not a kids?
Yeah, youth group, yeah.
Watch out, you'll get canceled for that one.
Oh shit. No, probably only if it were the other way.
So I'm going to overshare, but
no, wait, hold on. Okay, go ahead.
Well, so this is just my story. Okay, this has nothing to do with Adam and Lindsay. But when I went into my 4th treatment, the guy that bailed me out of jail was my boss at the time, and he owned the treatment center that I was working at. And when he got me out of jail, he handed me this beautiful leather Bible, and I still have it to the day. It looks like my big book. There's sticky notes and there's highlights in there. And he's like, oh, you wrote in it? When I told him the one time. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So I was going to church out of respect for what he did for me and just going to give it one more chance because I was desperate. And the last time I went to church, the entire, what do you call it? Not sermon, message from the pastor. He had a bunch of kids make this paper mache deer or tree with a deer blind in it. And his entire message was how he sat there all day waiting for this deer to come out, waiting for a buck. And it was getting dark, and he's like, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to head in. And he stood up and turned around to climb out of the tree, and something made him stop. And so he froze for a minute, and sure enough, a few moments later, there comes the buck, and he got his buck. And it was God telling him to stop in that tree stand and wait just a second longer. Okay? This is not me bashing anybody's faith, but this is just an example of why I have a hard time. This pastor spent 30 minutes, 45 minutes talking about how God took time out of his busy schedule of building the universe and had a deer come out so he could shoot it. And I'm over here struggling with addiction, praying every night to anything that'll listen. And I keep getting OWI after OWI. I got my brothers and sisters in the treatment center that are losing everything, their children, and people are dying. You know, people that I met there that are really giving forth an effort, they're dying. And this dude is on here talking about how God brought a fucking buck out for him to shoot. That was my last time giving church a chance. And so that's just where, some of the things that come in. And I told you I like to be authentic. And so if I don't share these things, I don't feel like I'm giving everybody who I really am. And if that turns people away, that's fine. But I don't think the church was bad. I don't think the pastor's a bad guy. I just think it was a really crappy message and timing for me to be there for that one, because his next one might have been fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, I did not get sober through conventional, I wouldn't even say through spiritual means at all. Looking back on it now, I think it was the start of my spiritual journey. But I mean, mine was very much, CBT and mindfulness and just learning to listen to thoughts and stuff. But that jump started me into a spiritual journey, which has taken me all over the place. So, yeah, I mean, is it a requirement for sobriety? No, not at all. Not my experience.
No, I used the world, the universe, love. That's my higher power. Good things.
Doesn't get much bigger and more powerful than the universe, right?
True that.
Yeah, one might even say the universe is God.
One might. One might.
I like karma too. I think it all just it just goes right together. What's the next one? Scotty?
What's the next one?
Yeah, what's the next one? I'm having a hard time reading this.
All right, hold on. I saw one and then I went on my little rant.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, I had to go and take care of a nightmare. So.
Oh, the addict believes.
Hey, gifts of sobriety, right?
That's right.
Oh, the nightmares?
No, being able to be there for that.
Yeah, be here for the 8-year-old to walk in. But hey, you guys remember we did this like 5 or 6 months ago, and I was like, yeah, she's not gonna go to sleep until I lay in there with her until she goes to sleep. Yeah. Now at the point where it's like, okay, but I'll try, and so I can get up and leave, and so we're baby steps. We're getting there.
Heck yeah.
I don't know what that means. Sometimes they know. You mean like denial? They believe bullshit. I don't know. See, there again, we go like, what's an addict and what's not? Like, I still don't. I just don't.
Yeah, I can.
Othering, it's like the addict.
That's where I can rant on that one.
I'm not an addict because I don't use drugs anymore. And I want to say that everybody's an addict of some type. So I really like hate people that get on their mountaintop and, just like trying to use that against me now is like, bro.
Depending on how you want to define it, yeah.
Well, it's like silly. Like you can't use that against people like us. We will tell you, yes, I shot crack in my neck. And guess what? I help others now, more people than you can imagine. So I'm not ashamed. You know why? Because I've gone from this to this. And so it just seems to be like people that don't know better or don't know what it's like to like overcome anything in their lives and they're still stuck in what they're doing. I keep hearing little things like that of like, you know what I mean? Like,
I feel like the intent of the comments.
Not this, though. I wasn't talking about.
I think it kind of goes back to what we were talking about with denial and negative thinking, stuff like that. I was like, you don't realize that you're in denial until the moment you have that very first thought, and then you could never go back to actually not being aware of it anymore.
Yeah.
So the addict believes bullshit. Well, up until a certain point, it's not bullshit to the addict until they realize that it's bullshit. And then they will fight tooth and nail to continue to believe the bullshit so as not to address the problem. And that's the hard part of getting somebody to address it. So
true.
So a little farther up, Den said, drugs are merely a symptom of. What do you guys think of that comment?
Click it.
I can't because I remember I don't do the thing.
Oh, where is it?
there we go.
Thank you. good sir?
What do you think?
You answer first, because I'll go on and on and on.
I mean, to me, it was a solution. And just like we were talking before, alcohol was a solution to all the crap that I had on the inside going on. So I guess you could say maybe it was a symptom of my other problems, but I mean,
I think the dependency on it becomes the symptom of the underlying problem. So you guys both have had great conversations with Dallas where he talked about how to truly heal from your addiction and your use, you have to at some point acknowledge and realize the fact that what you were doing was providing you comfort from something. So if it's providing you relief, it's not necessarily a symptom of an underlying problem at that point, because it was working up until it became more of a problem. And so once it becomes more of a problem, and now, it gets looped in with the underlying problem. So yeah, you could say it is a symptom of that underlying problem. I mean, my personal opinion is that you're seeking comfort for something. And what you found was comforting to you. It just also happened to be very physically addicting. So you became physically addicted on it. It was also providing you comfort. You became psychologically and emotionally dependent on it. And then you kept craving more and more and more and more, couldn't stop. And then finally all the negative consequences of the use piled up and became an even larger problem. So I think at a certain point, it's a symptom of an underlying problem, but also maybe before that, it is temporary relief of an underlying problem. I think it's always this kind of, it's like trying to define who an addict is or what addiction is. It's like, it's not addiction up until, now it's addiction.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's one of those few things where I don't think the definition or that point lies on a continuum, but for every single person, there's a distinct cliff that you fall off at some point on that continuum. For some people, it's way down low. It only takes them one hit and boom, they're done. For some people, they can use for years and years and years, and you're like, yeah, I'm done. So I don't know.
no, the big book says the almost immediate ease and comfort you get from taking that first drink. That is what I sought desperately every single time, because it was doing exactly that. It was giving me ease and it was giving me comfort from the things that were the root of the problem.
Yeah.
My self, loathing. I wasn't a good enough father, husband, worker. I didn't have enough money in the bank. You know what I mean? Like all those things I didn't have to think about just for a little while.
Yeah.
That might be why I never really could latch onto AA as the answers, because my experience with drinking did not line up with how the big book describes it, or really with anybody I ever met in meetings. Yeah. So, I mean, I can find the parallels and the similarities, obviously, in the stories and then all the consequences that come along with excessive drinking. But how it was presented to me in treatment and in the big book and in meetings of like, this is the path that we all kind of somehow found ourselves on. And I was like, yeah, I didn't get here the same way you did.
Right. Right.
I mean, we're both here now, but.
Right. Yep. But, and I don't think Gene was saying what I'm going to comment on, but Gene said, maybe we could think about meetings that don't include that. You all are very brilliant minds. Well, thank you.
I appreciate that.
It's all Adam and Lindsay. But the reason I want to make a point too is like, the reason why AA comes up isn't because we like to talk about AA and point out and nitpick. And I can't speak for you guys, so let me rephrase that. The reason why I talk about AA so much isn't because I want to nitpick at it and because I want to point out its flaws. It's because it's the go-to. Everybody that goes into treatment court or gets sent to treatment through the court systems, AA is always on that list. When you go into the hospital, I've been there several times, they always tell you to go to AA and find a sponsor. So AA is the thing that they're directing everybody to. So I think it's very important to talk about the good and the bad. And I would like to think that I talk about the good and the bad, maybe not equally sometimes, but that's why AA is always on the forefront when I talk about it, because it's on the forefront everywhere. And like, Lindsay's a counselor and I'm a recovery coach, and AA is the thing. We are actually an AA based treatment center, so it is involved in everything that we do. And most treatment centers have to be AA based and can't get funding, but that's another story.
Exactly.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, we could definitely have a rant for hours on why the medical system and the legal system are based around AA, and it's complete bullshit. But again, if you're the gold standard and you go to that society understands, you're going to get compared to broken down pros and cons listed out all the time. So just like as soon as you say, no, Larry Bird's not the GOAT anymore, Michael Jordan's the GOAT. No, it's Kobe. Here it comes. No, what about LeBron? I mean, same shit. It's just we're talking about AA.
You know what though? This is a good comment here. The surrender thing has never worked for me through lots of sobriety and non-sobriety. That's a hard concept because, I mean, I still don't like the term either. Like I don't, and I know it means surrender, to quit, to cease fighting and quit fighting alcohol and drugs, but
I still don't know what it means.
I have a problem.
What does that mean? You know what I mean? Like that's another thing that I had a hard time with. Surrender.
Just surrender, motherfucker.
Just give up. But give up what? Like, I mean, stop drinking? Okay, duh.
Stop fighting.
Stop trying to drink because it doesn't work. Well, says who? Well, Dr. Silkworth, mother. He says it in the first chapter.
Yeah. No, I like acceptance much better.
Yeah.
Me too.
And I like accepting the fact that I can't change what happened out there, but I can change how I get to respond.
Yeah.
I don't just take what happened out there and let it bulldoze me over. I can change and move myself from out in front of the bulldozer.
Yes.
So.
Yes, you can. And just because your quote unquote best thinking brought you into a place, that doesn't mean that's the same thinking that you have to carry on forever.
Absolutely right. You can change how you think.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Living proof.
That's right. What else we got?
Ooh, I like this. It says you're not responsible, but that is wrong. I don't know who.
What does that say?
It says you're not responsible. I'm assuming AA.
Yeah, probably.
Oh. But that is wrong.
Oh, wait.
Yep.
Pick one.
Well, it got thrown up there in two different tweets. Anyway, it says you're not responsible, but that is wrong. I love this because so many people equate responsibility with fault. Okay, responsibility are not the same thing. You are completely 100% responsible for your addiction. I don't care at what point you decided that you became an addict, and I don't care what you attribute your addiction to. It is not your fault by any means, but you're 100% responsible for it. It's just like, so in the easiest way, I was trying to explain this to somebody and they couldn't quite grasp it. And this childish example, but is having a dog your fault or your responsibility? A dog wanders up off the road to your house.
I don't like
it. There, and you decide to start feeding it. Is having the dog your fault or your responsibility?
Neither.
So, but you decided to start taking care of it, so now it's your responsibility. It's not your fault the dog exists. It's not your fault the dog showed up at your house. Right?
Yeah, that's difficult for me to get.
Are addicted to something, but once you decide and realize that it's a problem and that you're going to fix it, it becomes your responsibility to address it and fix it.
Okay. Or like if you have a kid, I can get that one.
No, that was my fault.
I don't like dogs, you know that. I forgot what I was going to say. It's getting late. Hold on. But I've been staying up later. I've been doing really well.
Yeah, she's getting them 15-hour energies.
I got God, I'm good. Dang. Okay, Scooby-Doo. I can give it an amen.
Yep.
I can do that.
Good for you, man.
And, you know, if you want to, and Scooby's probably going to come back and be like, fuck you, Shaggy, but you can secularize that and you can say, one day I finally realized what I was looking for was me all along.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Shaggy, that was beautiful, man.
That's Shaggy. I get it now.
Yeah. He keeps calling me Shaggy.
Shag?
So I need to grow out a little goatee and start acting like a stoner.
Yeah, dude.
Zoink, Scoob!
You're freaking me out.
Go to church, they can be ridiculous. Just have my own faith. Yeah, I mean,
Totes.
you don't need to go to AA to have recovery. You don't need to go to church to have a religion.
That's right.
That was just beautiful. Beautiful. All right, I'm done. Hold on. I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I have no idea what the message was. If you're referring to that story, yeah.
Gotcha about why. Yeah.
I don't even know what church. I don't even know what it is. I got sober after having a massive heart attack 2 years ago from too many drugs. Never touched them since. I can't anyway. Wow.
I'm glad you're still here.
Good for you for stopping, because a lot of times it doesn't stop us. Good for you.
And this it's gonna sound callous. I don't mean it that way, but so the statement there, never touched them since. I can't anyway. I die. Just leads me to believe like there are times when you go, man, I really want to do whatever. So
yeah, well, that'd be authentic, wouldn't it? Because I tell you what, there've been many times recently where something on ice sounds pretty damn good, but
yeah, shit happens, man. It's hard. It can get hard at times, you know.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Oh, this is good. Yeah, this is good.
Okay.
Is this French or is this slang? I don't know.
Oh, he made a video. I posted it yesterday. The beef. I like your picture. I thought that's who that was. Did you guys see it?
So is it French?
No. Edward Harvey, whatever, Oswald. Isn't that it? Am I wrong here? Harvey, Edward, something. Edward Hardy.
Oh, okay.
Jesus.
Lee Harvey Oswald.
Thanks, Ivor. I've just never seen it spelled out before. He's saying Laheim.
Oh, Laheim. Oh, I've never seen it out there either.
I don't know what's happening right now. Hey, girl.
Sorry, I didn't get flumy enough. Laheim.
Preach, sister.
Shut people out from getting help if they want it by forcing them in regards to higher power. That's absolutely right. You know what?
Yeah.
Are you on Twitter?
She is one of my good friends. You know what?
On Twitter, and you will be busy if you're like to argue.
Yeah, they would love you. That's why I'm becoming a facilitator for Smart Recovery right now too, where I can run those meetings. Because I just fell in love with the structure and a lot of it, and it's non-secular. Mary Beth does the Life Ring, which we've talked about. That's another program that's non-secular. And it's a lot of empowerment. It's about empowerment, not labeling yourself. Smart Recovery is, I think Life Ring is the same, right? But it's not labeling ourselves, and not saying that something else is the power. It's saying that it's empowering. The power comes from within to make change. We are able to make change. as
Absolutely.
opposed to only God can make that change with a little bit of action. I just,
Yeah.
you know.
We are limitless, boundless, creative beings.
Oh yes,
The
yes,
whole reason here is to create.
yes. He was. It just sparked discussion in my head that I was like, oh, I'll use that to talk about because, I don't know. It's like so many people are affected by addiction, and they know someone that's affected by addiction or, you know, some kind of addiction. So it's really like nowadays it's like really strange when you see people trying to like to talk shit to someone for having used drugs or alcohol. Because let me tell you what, a lot of people that use drugs and alcohol that don't call themselves an addict because they're not taking responsibility. Like, for example, you know, it was like he was comparing me to the guy and saying, you know, trauma survivor him, me, former addict, and it's like, what?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like we can play addict all day long, but it's not good for our community of recovering individuals. It's not empowering. It's putting other people down for, you know, if it's supposed to be a disease, what are you talking about? You know, you don't put people down for that because I guarantee you've got something going on. You know what I mean? There's a reason that you're pointing something out. We want it to be inclusive, yes.
How can addiction recovery become more inclusive? I think by, and I'm going to toot our horn, by doing what we're doing
Yeah.
and saying, you know, having more people talk about, you know, individual pathways, and you know, we can walk a path with you, but you have to walk it yourself. We can show you the path that we're on, but you know, it might not work for you. Maybe there's some low-lying limbs that you don't want to duck under, so you want to go over here a little bit or something. I don't know, but yeah, I just think more people being willing to go out of the outside of the quote unquote norm and say, hey, it doesn't have to be like this. You know, there are things that I say now that I wish that I could have heard, you know, 2, 3, 4 years ago. And I wonder what difference that would have made. And it might not have made anything. Maybe I just wasn't ready. But I know that, you know, when I say the things that I say in my recovery, you know, when somebody comes in and I say, you know, well, here's some other options. Oh, really? You know, oh, I don't have to do AA. You know, those guys are just weird. Well, try another meeting is the first thing I say.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, I think the only real way for it to ever become more inclusive is for the legal system to get out of the treatment business.
Yeah.
That's the only way it's ever going to happen because
well,
too much tied to AA. That's like, I'm not going to go down that rant, but there's just too much tied to AA between the medical community and the legal community where they all say, you know what, we're just going to default to AA because it's there and it's an easy answer without having to do any of the actual work.
right.
Yeah. And, you know, there was a gentleman, he's a little bit older than me, that comes into my meetings. And part of his court sentencing is to get a sponsor.
Yeah, they've seen that shit.
He can't go to the next phase until he has a sponsor. Do you know how dangerous that is? To go out and force somebody to do the sponsorship thing for somebody else. So what I told him, I was like, look, if you need to go on to the next phase, I get that. Go into your favorite meeting and say, hey, I'm looking for a temporary sponsor. Somebody that can just fill the role for now until I find my real one. Then you can tell the court you have a sponsor and you don't have to commit to somebody you don't want to have.
100.
Because I've had sponsors that I've chosen, and one of them is a real fucking piece of work. So to force somebody to go get a stranger to do that, it's just ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
Good point.
Judges, except for the one that I am aware of, don't know anything about addiction.
Yeah.
You know, at least they're not going to come out and admit what they do know about addiction.
Sure.
So. I mean, part of my divorce, I had to go to 4 AA meetings a week.
Yeah.
And, you know, and my therapist was like, he can't legally do that. I'm like, well, how much is it going to cost me to appeal that? She's like, well, You can't really feel it. You know?
There are guys that are trying to be fathers that give up time with their children because they have to make these meetings that are mandatory.
Yeah, and then you get that used against you. She's like, well, look at all the time you didn't spend with your kid. I'm like, yeah, it's because you forced me because it's 30 minutes to get to the meeting. It's a 90-minute meeting. It's 30 minutes to get back home.
Oh, and by the way, they took your license away.
And by the way, it only happens on the days that I actually have my daughter.
Right.
It is. It's so difficult. Like starting from the bottom, like I had no license. I owed like $20,000+. And this is when I first got sober. It was like 2013. And I'm working at a rehab. I have a year sober. And I'm like, what the fuck am I going to do? I'm living somewhere. I'm living in a treatment center. I'm making like $50 a week. And I'm like, I'm on my way to buying a house. Oh, wait, I got to get my license. Oh, wait, I got to pay court fees. Oh, wait, I got to get a breathalyzer in my car. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
I buy food.
Yeah, and here's where the people come on their horses saying, well, don't do the crime if you can't do the time, okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Drugs are
Yes,
bad.
sir, Mr. Garrison. I got a podcast for that. Go check it out. I think I said something, the title was something long, Go Turn Yourself In.
Oh, yeah.
So go check that one out.
Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, you guys add my friend on the boob tube. Well, you guys don't have boob tubes. It's more like a YouTube.
Yeah, I thought it was called OnlyFans. Boob tube.
My Chrome history will not show any boob tube on here.
No,
just in case Miley's watching.
Oh, yeah. No. Hey, girl. I like her.
She's pretty amazing.
She keeps your ass in line. That's what you need.
She's my best friend, and so that's what matters.
Okay. Next.
I'm going to Kentucky on Wednesday.
Ooh. Bluegrass State.
Never
Home of
been
the
to
Wildcats.
Yeah. Flying into Lexington, hitting 2 apartment complexes, flying back out.
Well, travel safe, my friend. Oh, True Clear Media says, so glad I discovered you. I don't know who they're talking to, but I'm going to assume it's Adam.
You're stupid.
Yeah. I'm the one with all the views. Let's see. 0.
What the fuck? Some weird stuff going on.
So, all right. So let's just throw it real quick. So I don't watch news or anything. Are we about to have World War III? I mean, is Christ coming? Because apparently
28.
the land is about to blow itself off the map.
What?
Yeah, the 28th is the astrological rapture, second coming of Christ. That's what I've been reading. Yep, April 28th. Yep. So get your tickets, get your bags packed. Yep. See you in church on Sunday.
Oh my God, you do.
A cross and some mala beads. I probably need an altar outside somewhere.
Oh yeah, it does. Yeah. I see it now. Holy crap, I definitely see it.
Crazy. I knew that I knew you when I met you. I knew you.
What was that? Ryder Strong?
No, that was the other one. No, the older brother.
That's it. That was it. Okay, I guess.
I'm gonna start. And we're all going to Big Dog Music's place because he's building a bunker.
He does.
Who's the older
Let
brother?
me hear your music. Where is it? Send it to me. How do I do this?
Wow, Eric Matthews. Yep.
Oh, that dude.
I don't know if you won't be able to see my phone on here, will you?
Dorky though, so it matches. I can't see. Like a good door. Look
right
at
there.
You're so
blurry.
cool. You're fucking adorable.
That's the first time I've been compared to a lot of people. That's the first time I've gotten that one.
What about me?
What about me? Do me.
Do me. What do I look like? Who do I look like? I've gotten some crazy ones. Don't forget your crystals. Yeah, but send me the
I got all kinds of crystals set up on the thing behind me,
Oh.
mostly obsidian.
obsidian, the
Mhm.
black one.
Oh yeah, you betcha ours.
Oh yeah. do the Stephen Avery, Wisconsin. Do it.
I got nothing.
Harley
Harley
Quinn.
Quinn.
Huh?
Yeah, I can see that.
Oh,
You
Harley
ever
Quinn.
seen him in a baseball bat?
The new Joker movie's coming out soon. That should
What
be
do
a
you
banger.
don't provoke these people to start saying I'm violent. What were they saying? I don't know what. Yes, Jolie, I've gotten that so many times, and it's like I don't see it, but it's nice to say to me, but I don't.
Oh,
see it.
Angelina.
Yeah.
Do a little Tomb Raider.
Yeah. Mixing a little Elvira with the hair.
Yeah.
And then remember the one with Brittany Murphy?
Who?
Brittany Murphy that died from 8 Mile, and she's banging Eminem in it. I didn't bang Eminem, but people say I look like her when she's alive.
Yeah, never saw it.
Never saw it.
I'm a Michigan guy, and Eminem was cool for like a minute.
What are you saying? He was cool back
You know,
then.
so I remember when the movie came out. I was the first time not really the first time, but the first time I really got to sit and listen to I can't remember the name of the song, the title song. But yeah, but I mean, no, I was a fan of Eminem all through high school. But we were on a bus going from the Air Force Academy up to University of Wyoming. I'm driving through somewhere in Wyoming. I remember looking out going, God, this state is fucking brown. All while that main song from 8 Mile was playing, I was like, this is a cool song.
Oh yeah, yeah, he had some good ones, but he reminds me. He sounds like Steve Urkel. Like, if I wish he would just say, "Did I do that?" in one of his rap songs, and it would be a perfect impersonation.
Oh, it's funny.
You, Michigan, I'm from Ohio. Oh yeah, well, nobody's perfect.
I am. Fart. We should do like the Brady Bunch thing.
I told you about this. We're not doing that again.
Oh yeah, yeah. There we go. We got to do the.
I mean, come on, really?
Wheeling's so cool. Super cool. Oh yeah, so no, but I want you guys to. Can you post the link in here? 544 544 Mike Jones. Who? That's not the number, is it? 8775. That's the other one.
Talking about
Mike Jones. Does not nobody know about Mike Jones?
Yeah, sorry.
Copyright strict if I did it.
Is that music? What is that?
You don't know who? It's the Paul. That's why I was calling you Paul Wall earlier. You're the people's champ. Paul Wall. It's a people's champ.
Scott, is that a wrestling thing?
Not so close. See?
Huh?
What?
What?
How, you're not.
Is that a wrestling thing?
You're not that much older
I
than.
don't think so.
The people?
Oh yeah, yeah. That's Rock. Yeah.
That's what I thought. It's not Paul
The
Wall.
Rock is the people's champion. There's only one people's champion.
Paul Wall. He's got
Never heard of her.
Escalade. He's got. I remember when getting a grill was cool.
Yeah.
I may or may not have done that.
I remember when a bunch of people got a grill, but I don't remember them ever being cool.
It was never cool. I'm totes kidding. Have a good night, Ivor. Chilling. Hold on, I'm gonna post a link.
He said it's like ivermectin.
He knows who the fuck Mike Jones is. Why don't you?
I don't know. I'm too old for this shit.
I would teach you guys everything. It's a good song though. Can I play it on here? Will I get copywritten?
Yes, you will. Yeah.
Who is Mike Jones? Who is Mike Jones? I hope people clip this. Who is Mike Jones?
I'm gonna clip it. All right.
Clip that shit. Post it all over.
All right. Well, I think I've had my fill. This was fun. Thank you for having me.
I'm about to say it's about bedtime.
It's Betty time. I love you guys.
So
Militant. Hey, that's like the word of the week for all the cult stuff.
What are you talking about? Who said that? I'm gonna wait. Hold on. I gotta share his video that he did of me, and he did his research. He did very good. And it's only part 1 of 3, right?
yeah, what? You know, one time for Halloween, since you just mentioned Little John, I dyed a mop head black, and I put it over my head with a stocking hat, and I went as Little John. Yeah.
You would have gotten canceled today.
I would have. Well, I wasn't actually. I was doing Dave Chappelle doing Little John, which is actually even better.
That is pretty funny.
That skit he did. What?
That was really good. That was. How come I can't find this? What is the name again? 544 what? Oh, I can just look up.
I think it's funny that one of Usher's most popular songs everybody knows because Lil Jon.
Right. Right.
Because at Super Bowl, how many songs were you like, yeah, okay, I kind of remember that Usher song. You're like, yeah,
Yeah.
I don't
Hold on. I got to practice my lines.
Ludicrous.
Let me practice my lines. Yeah.
Okay. Here.
Yeah. It was yeah, what, and okay. That's all he had to say.
Okay.
Here it is. Oh, I got it. Oh, God.
A mop canceled immediately. Yeah. Well, I was poor. Okay.
Did you paint your face? Don't answer that on here. Don't
No, I
answer
didn't.
that.
I probably look more like Gandalf with black hair.
Who's Gandalf?
Oh my God.
Don't oh my God me, dude. How old are you?
Really?
Is that Harry Potter?
Oh no, you didn't even.
Who is? Can someone help me?
Lord of the Rings.
Oh, that's terrible.
Oh my God, yes, please.
I hate
Talk more about Mike Jones, whoever that is, and your grills. One of the most famous books ever written by one of the most famous authors of all time.
I don't like books like that. I only like the real ones.
I never read the stupid books. I can't read.
Good. They don't teach
All right.
you.
I'm out, skis. Good night, everybody.
So
Thanks
you
for
want to
listening.
something really funny? You talk about Mike Jones and not knowing all these names. For the longest time, I had no idea that Spike Jones and Spike Lee were 2 different people.
Oh,
I don't even know. I think they're 2 people that don't know
I
which
mean,
one.
I knew they were 2 different people, but I always just like accredited anything
right.
one of them did to like the same person.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Yeah.
All right, see ya.
All right. See
I
you,
don't know
dudes.
the difference.
Good
All right,
night.
guys. Thank you. Love you. Bye.